The jealousy is real. The jealousy is real. And I'm not just talking about the overwhelming jealousy that dump divers in the WNBA feel towards the Roo from Waterloo. I'm starting to wonder, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, I'm starting to wonder if there's a little bit of jealousy, maybe a little bit of resentment that is building towards Angel Reese.
Angel Reese showed up to the WNBA All-Star party like it was her coronation, only to get benched, blocked, and bounced like a bad check. Turns out the league's top dogs weren't rolling out the red carpet. They were rolling their eyes. What happened when TikTok fame met actual basketball royalty? Spoiler, it wasn't pretty. From icy stares to full-on rejection, this is the All-Star roast session Angel didn't ask for. Buckle up, this one's gloriously messy.
Reese goes. She finished 5th overall in fan voting, 10th among all voting once you factored in, but only 12th among the media and the players. So the players actually rated Caitlin Clark higher than Angel Reese, which I think is interesting, although certainly it's deserved. But I will say, Angel Reese, Ronnie and I have debated it on the program. Ronnie has been pretty clear that he thinks that she sucks at basketball. I have defended her as having dimensions of her game that are high level. I got to a point here a couple of weeks ago where I was starting to wonder if she actually sucked or not, but she has put together an impressive streak here. Over her last 4 games.
You know, if I were a WNBA player, I'd be fuming too, but not Caitlin Clark. Nope. I'd be steaming that Angel Reese is the one getting magazine covers, sneaker deals, and endless media attention for what exactly? Vibing on the bench? Perfecting the art of the side eye? If effort to praise ratio were a sport, Reese would be averaging 40 points a night. Meanwhile, the actual MVPs, the ones who've been grinding for years, can't even get a Gatorade commercial. That's not just jealousy, that's Olympic-level salt.
Well, this is very interesting, and certainly a plot twist from last season. And I'm talking about the mainstream media, the sports media, and their love affair with Angel Reese. Now, we know the media jumped through hoops, gymnastics, mental gymnastics. I mean, however you try to put it, they tried to raise up Angel Reese last year as being, of course, she's running neck and neck with Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year.
Let's be real. Angel Reese is the WNBA's version of the friend who shows up late to the group project, says one thing, and somehow ends up getting credit for the whole PowerPoint, and people are eating it up. There's this bizarre celebration of mediocrity going on, like hustle stats and PR antics are now more valuable than, making a jump shot. Forget the fundamentals. Just post a cryptic tweet and you too can be a household name.
Problem is, the words from jealous WNBA players do not match up with their actions. They say one thing, and then they go and do another. And I'm starting to wonder if that same jealousy, that same resentment, I'm starting to wonder if it's building towards Angel Reese.
Now, here's where it gets extra awkward. The entire league is acting like Caitlin Clark walked in and spilled all their secrets, like she's the reason no one's been watching their games for the last 20 years. Newsflash, Clark didn't cause the ratings drought. She just walked into the room, turned on the lights, and suddenly everyone saw the cobwebs, and instead of cleaning up, the WNBA decided to blame the flashlight.
They both impact the game. My teammates are saying Caitlin Clark moves the needle on basketball, right? Versus Angel, who moves the needle on viewership, on interest, on engagement. No one can deny that because she's on McDonald's bags, because she has her own podcast, because she's at the Met Gala, because she's transcending the sport and she's showing girls femininity. My sister don't play basketball, no Angel Reese. My sister don't play basketball, she knows Caitlin Clark too.
Would Angel Reese be on a McDonald's bag if she was not a champion averaging a double-double?
Nah, bro, I'm gonna get up because I don't
So you're saying Angel Reese is...
The resentment, it's thick. You can cut it with a double-edged post-game interview. It's like watching a bunch of background dancers get mad that the spotlight's not on them. except the lead performer actually earned the spotlight with record-breaking stats, not just TikTok clout and a semi-viral eye roll, but somehow Reese is the one being treated like the league's darling, while Clark is being fouled like it's open season and everyone forgot the rule book, and forget like it's open season and everyone forgot the rule book. If I were in that locker room, I wouldn't be jealous of Clark. I'd be downright furious at how someone can average single digits and still be treated like she's the face of the revolution. Reese is getting crowned for playing mid-tier basketball while Clark is getting mauled for being too good. It's like the WNBA's logic did a backflip and landed on its head. And here's the kicker. They know Clark is the only reason this whole league hasn't been auctioned off to a local rec center. Like it or not, she's the one putting butts in seats and eyeballs on screens. But instead of thanking her with a fruit basket or maybe just not body checking her every quarter, they've turned her into the villain. She's the outsider, the intruder, the newbie who dared to be popular, talented, and marketable. How dare she?
WNBA All-Star starters were released and people are pissed. This is how votes were cast. 50% was fan vote, 25% was media, and the remaining 25% was current players. One person that was not one of the 10 starters selected, Angel Reese. Now, Angel was actually 5th among frontcourt players in the fan voting, but she didn't even rank inside the top 10 in current player or media voting. The top vote getter was unsurprisingly Caitlin Clark with over 1.2.
They can't admit that without Clark, the WNBA wouldn't be on ESPN. It'd be back to fighting for a segment between cornhole championships and professional axe throwing. But sure, let's keep pretending Angel Reese being unapologetically her is the growth engine of the league. Meanwhile, the only thing growing are the memes of her getting swatted at the rim. And oh, the interviews. Every time Reese opens her mouth, it's like a motivational speaker fell into a blender with a fashion blogger and came out dunking on logic. It's marketing sorcery. The girl's got more endorsement deals than double-doubles. Somewhere, a veteran WNBA player is watching all this and wondering if she should have just focused on building a personal brand instead of perfecting her left-hand layup. The league, though? It's eating it up. Because the narrative is easier to digest than the truth. That their longtime marketing failures were suddenly fixed by a white girl from Iowa who can shoot from the parking lot.
17 and 5, and you may be saying to yourself, well, how many of those 17 rebounds a game are me bounds? Is she just standing there rebounding at all of her own misses and padding her stats? Only 6 me bounds in the last 4 games. So even if we discount the me bounds, she's averaging 16 boards a game over her last 4 games, and she became the first player in WNBA history to put together 4 straight 15-plus rebound games.
Clark is the only player pulling the WNBA out of obscurity by sheer force of will, one highlight at a time. Without her, the sold-out arenas become empty seats and echo chambers again. You know what would really be poetic? If Clark got tired of being the WNBA's crash test dummy and just packed her bags for Europe. Because you know overseas leagues wouldn't just welcome her, they'd roll out the red carpet, hand her a tax-free contract, and probably name a dessert after her. She'd be dropping 40 a night while sipping espresso in Milan. Clark could walk tomorrow and the media storm would follow her. Not the league, she's the storm. And right now, the WNBA is just a leaky umbrella pretending it's in control. The sheer inability to say, yeah, she's great and we need her, is mind-blowing. Instead, we get coded shade and passive-aggressive fouls. The league has turned into a high school hallway where popularity is punished unless it fits a certain mold.
We came into the season, the media tried to put Angel Reese amongst the best players again, and then she promptly went out and stunk it up. All right, and stunk it up. Now, she's had a couple of good games as of late, but every time she has a good game, she has a horrific game. And her field goal percentage is down this year. And imagine I just said that. Her field goal percentage has dropped this year versus last year. That's right, she's a worse shooter.
And Clark? She's the new girl who showed up with straight A's and a scholarship offer from every college. And everyone else is mad she's not sitting at the loser table. But the audience isn't stupid. They can see what's happening. They know who's balling and who's bluffing. The highlight reels don't lie. Clark's step backs are lethal, her passes are poetry, and the resentment bubbling under the surface is no longer subtle. It's loud, it's bitter, and it's dragging the league down. Maybe if the WNBA put half the energy it spends on petty grudges into actual marketing, they wouldn't need to rely on Caitlin Clark as their last hope. Maybe if they celebrated her instead of punishing her, the whole league could rise. But nah, it's more fun to pretend she's the problem while ignoring the fact she's the only solution that's working.
For those that don't know, the WNBA released their All-Star starters for the 2025 WNBA All-Star game hosted in Indiana this year. And baby, I'm not gonna lie, a few people don't deserve to be on here. So just to give you guys context with it, when the first returns came back on the fan voting and I saw that Skylar Diggins was ranked 24th, I was sick. Sick to my stomach because Skylar Diggins has been playing as the best point guard in the league to start out this year. It's no way she should have been ranked at the 24th spot. This is a player that is currently averaging 18 points per game, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, while shooting 46% from the floor.
So if Clark ever decides to say, you know what, I'm good, and hops on a plane to Spain or Turkey, don't act surprised. Don't write long op-eds about what went wrong. You knew, you know, you just didn't want to say it out loud, because deep down, they all understand the ugly truth. Without Caitlin Clark, this league isn't collapsing. It's already halfway there. If Angel Reese had just focused on playing her game instead of playing the crowd, there might actually be something there, something to build on, something worth the noise, but no, she took the detour. She could have put her head down, sharpened her post-game, stopped fouling out like it was a daily ritual, and maybe, just maybe, been a force the league could actually use. But that takes grind, that takes humility, that takes not tweeting every time he gets subbed out for someone who doesn't average 4 turnovers per celebration. Instead, she built a brand off being defiant, not dominant. And now she's in the All-Star game, not because of her stats, but because she's trending like a meme that refuses to fade. But let's address the real earthquake here, the Clark chaos.
The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths, the deception of deceptions. La mentira de las mentiras for those who prefer Espanol. Or as fake gangster Ja Morant would say, the cap of caps. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
The same WNBA players who scoff and roll their eyes when Caitlin's name gets mentioned are the exact ones guarding her like she's Diana Taurasi possessed by Steph Curry. They say she's just hype, but every time she touches the ball, it's like 5 players suddenly remember their defensive principles. They're swarming her like she insulted their entire lineage. Weird, isn't it? 9th best point guard, huh? Yet somehow she's being double-teamed at half court like she's the final boss in a video game. If she's really not that good, why does the entire league treat her like she's holding the Infinity Gauntlet? You'd think someone ranked 9th would be defended with a shrug, maybe a lazy hand in the face. Instead, players are closing out on her like she owes them money. They know that Clark's presence alone makes every game feel bigger. They know that when she's on the court, ESPN magically remembers the WNBA exists. They know the fans in those suddenly full arenas aren't wearing jerseys that say Reese. And no matter how much they pretend, no matter how many elbows get thrown or cold shoulders get served, they know the future isn't riding with their bitterness. It's pulling up from 30 and swishing it in their faces.
I was going to ask your take on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
She put her hands on the desk. Lord, give me strength.
It's a really nuanced situation. Mm-hmm. I think that Caitlin brings out this real, how do I say this and not get canceled? She brings out this energy from people that she needs to be protected.
Meanwhile, Angel is busy perfecting the art of being upset. Upset when she gets benched. Upset when someone questions her performance. Upset that the camera's not on her during Clark's 4th highlight of the night. She plays with the energy of someone constantly wronged, like the universe has conspired against her ever since she put on a professional jersey. But the truth? Nobody's stopping Angel Reese from becoming great, except Angel Reese. But instead, she's trying to dunk on reality with vibes and victimhood. And unfortunately, vibes don't show up on the scoreboard. You can't get mad that you're not Caitlin Clark when you're not putting in Caitlin Clark work. Clark didn't walk into the league with glitter and applause. She walked in and immediately started sinking shots while getting clobbered like she owed the league back taxes. She's getting treated like a superstar by opposing defenses because she is one.
That double-double, she got it, sure. That title, sure. She was purposely missing shots at some point to be able to get the rebound.
Did she tell you that?
And if I saw it, and my thing is that if those were intentional shots, she shouldn't be in the WNBA at all. Yeah, I don't know about top 10.
Okay, fair. But based off of you watching her and you saying that you feel as though that she were intentionally missing shots as a professional basketball player and that she shouldn't be in the WNBA if she were taking those shots anyways or whatever, all of these are feeling based. At the end of the day, the numbers are what they are, and those double-doubles have translated into championships on every level that Angel has played on.
You don't have to like it, you just have to admit it. There's no conspiracy, just talent and attention following it. It's like watching a group of people try to pretend the sun isn't hot while frantically applying sunscreen. If Clark is really mid, then explain the energy expenditure trying to shut her down. Explain the nightly bruises these defenders collect while chasing her around like she's hiding the cure for irrelevance. It's a performance. One half basketball, one half delusion. You don't get points for presence. You don't get crowned for clout. The game is the game. And right now, the scoreboard isn't lying. Clark is dragging her team out of the abyss one buzzer beater at a time, while Angel is over there perfecting synchronized celebrations after grabbing 3 rebounds. The contrast isn't just clear, it's blinding. One is all substance being disrespected, the other is all spectacle being rewarded. And fans are watching it all unfold like, wait, she's the All-Star? If Angel had just focused on being the player she could be, she might have been a real threat, a legit rival, something more than a side character with a good agent.
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has gotten way out of control. Yeah. Angel is a great player. Caitlin is also a great player. They're not the same type of player, and they're starting their careers.
Yeah.
Angel really upset people with how she taunted Caitlin after the championship, as she should. And if a man did it, we wouldn't have even talked about it.
But now, she's that loud character in the background of every movie. You remember the outfit, not the role. She's not building a legacy, she's building a persona. And personas don't win championships, they just get retweeted. It must be exhausting pretending you don't care about Clark while chasing her shadow every game. Acting like she's overhyped while secretly watching her film to figure out how to slow her down. Playing the she ain't all that card while fouling her like it's your last day on Earth. The effort is admirable, the denial, not so much. Because the truth is, they all know, the WNBA is riding the Clark wave like their lives depend on it, because they do. But it won't happen with interviews or eye rolls or brand slogans. It'll happen when she finally decides to be the player she thinks she already is. Until then, Clark will keep torching nets, filling arenas, and getting guarded like the queen of the league, while everyone else pretends not to notice that she already wears the crown.